All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are back to playing Monster of the Week tonight. We are in our finale, in fact, for Monster of the Week, as this will be the last episode for now, and we'll see how it works out as we ended with the party radically separated and two people on the verge of death. So I don't know why Adam and Melissa showed up tonight, but they are here nonetheless. And so I put them on camera. Other than that, though, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we got our finale tonight of Family Splatters, and we're going to go from there. We got a couple announcements and stuff that we've been doing at the start, just so everyone knows. Two big things. One, I'll do, and then if Chuck wants to do the other, because I've been doing it. But now Chuck's here, so he can do it. But for us, for Lollygagger stuff, we got a new Discord. Everyone's invited. Come hang out. You can see a bunch of these folks there too. Come hang out. And not only do we have a new Discord, we're doing a giveaway to sort of celebrate like the first week of it being open. So if you're there within the first week, we're going to do a giveaway courtesy of our friends over at Norse Foundry, who have given us a gift certificate to gift to one of you people. Even Jeremy could win, sort of. Oh. I'm going to try not to have it happen. Didn't you win something before? I think you did actually win a giveaway once, which is funny. But no, you should come hang out, and you might have an opportunity to do it. So that's my thing. And then Chuck, I mean, you just might as well tell people at the top because we've been doing it.
Yeah, I got a Kickstarter coming out. It launches on the 14th, but the launch page is up, so you should go follow it because it makes my ego feel good. And then when it comes out, you should back it because it's an Into the Odd-based game where you play as teenagers navigating how goddamn weird the 90s were. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we freaking love Into the Odd games here as we play them quite often. And also, if you want to see what it looks like in a couple weeks, we're gonna switch seats and Chuck's gonna run us through it so you can see what it's like. So that's gonna be a lot of fun too. All right. So with those little plugs out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started and let's do intros for characters for the last time, and then we'll get started. So Chuck, keep talking. Tell us about Phil.
Hey, I'm Phil. Just all around great guy. I'm the mundane of the group, older brother to Donna, and the warm and fuzzy center that the universe revolves around. So that's Phil.
All that is pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I also think Phil's the only one who might not be in danger currently.
I am actually not in danger.
I think you're okay. No. You're not with Caleb and Donna. They're screwed. The rest of you, I think, are okay still. I think you're okay still.
Yeah.
Next up, Bert, tell us about Anton.
Oh, Anton is the cousin from the old country. He likes to think of himself as a reporter, unearthing all the real deal for such austere magazines like The Sun and other supermarket great literature by the checkout counter.
The type of literature that one, you might say, read about UFO sightings off the coast of California. Just saying. It could happen. Maybe that's where they might it could be.
On the cover.
It could be.
That's right. That's
right. Next up, Jeremy, tell us about Corbin Redding.
Yeah, Corbin is the tall, lanky, tattooed goth man witch of the group. Loves setting things on fire.
I know, like, when you say man witch, you mean like witch, like casting spells. But when you say man witch, I think of the sandwich meat additive thing.
I know.
It's good. Man. That's good. Steven is in chat. He's responding to the claims about the UFO stuff. I don't think you're a liar. I just think you're dumb. That's all. I just think... You don't. No, I'm just kidding. I believe you. You showed me pictures. There was a black screen with 3 dots. Of course, it's a UFO. Of course, it's a UFO.
It is unidentified.
3 lights.
They're
unidentified.
Wait, what? Oh God. No, there were 4 lights. Don't try to gaslight me. All right. Melissa, tell us about Donna.
Yes. Donna Theodore is sister to Phil Theodore. She is the wronged. Now, clearly, everyone was wronged, and that we all are saddened by the murder of our grandmother, but specifically by archetype, Donna is the wronged. So she has turned from regular old normal person into a over decked out, over gun-toting, revenge-seeking badass.
Trauma's not a competition, Melissa. Like everybody
Yes,
loves
this is true.
Muriel. Just saying.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
Maybe we should
this is
take
true.
away all of your powers, every single one, including the +1 that you get to everything you do this session.
Just this session, because this is the session that has to do with the thing that caused me to be wronged. And so this is the session. I'm very excited about my +1.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate that. And then finally, we have the other Redding brother. We got Caleb Adam.
Hey,
How's about Caleb?
I'm Caleb, and I'm just here on a road trip with my family. It's pretty awesome. And don't go thinking I can't do a dare. There's not one dare that's ever been told to me that I haven't done. I haven't done it. So, yeah, that's my thing. Like, that's all I got to hold on to in this life. So before I die, I just wanted to be known that any dare that's told to me, I do.
Okay. First scene. Here we go. We're starting. Dr. Krapiskel looks over towards Caleb and he says, I dare you to kill Donna. Boom. The end. Thanks for playing, everybody. Thanks for coming in. That's Monster of the Week, family.
It's quite the finale. Yeah.
In and out. That's fast. All right. Let's get going. So we have been in North Carolina, late 80s, early 90s era. We've got a family that that's tied together through their love of Grandma Muriel. Grandma Muriel, who passed away, who was reported to be murdered by Dr. Krapiskel, who is the arch-nemesis of the family. You got called to this North Carolina town, specifically to the neighborhood of Hagen Estates, by an old friend of your grandmother's, possible lover, and you started investigating the body of a man who washed up on shore of a lake, a couple of his organs were missing, and there was no clear way that they were removed. Eventually, it became clear that they were removed from an existing orifice. It had something to do with the lake. You guys went out on the lake, and you found a creature that kind of looked like a turtle with a hole, like a bowl in its head, and that tried to wrestle Phil down into the water. You guys tried to go back out and trap it and kill it, but then a massive crocodile popped up out of the water to sort of interrupt you for that. You've also heard these rumors that there's a Sasquatch across the lake in the wooded area on the other side from where the neighborhood might be. All sorts of weird stuff. And you decided, after having kind of a weird encounter with a man named Rob Petrie, the head of a patio furniture company, to pay him a visit at his furniture store. And that's when you discovered that sort of hidden in all of this furniture are these very highly advanced metallic spheres that seem to be surveillance devices of some kind. And Phil, who broke into the manager's office of this furniture store, was actually able to find, first of all, the office was a fraud, but he did find access, or at least he had a view of this highly advanced monitoring station of some kind. Later, Anton and Corbin were able to sneak back into the employee-only area, and then towards the cargo bays of the shop, and that's where you found a lot of those other spheres just waiting to go into some of this furniture. Donna and Caleb, meanwhile, the two of you were playing sort of decoy, and you were causing a little bit of a scene as there was a camera crew on site that was filming B-roll for commercials that were going to come out, and in doing so, that kind of pissed some people off, and so they called a Mr. Gallagher out to deal with you, and it was a kind of a dorky looking guy with a lab coat, and he started touching these random items around you. They all lit up, and suddenly the store was gone, and you all were transported somehow to some highly advanced technical center, and that's when you saw Rob Petrie, who turned around and basically revealed to you that he knew your family and he's known him for some time, and that he was in fact your arch nemesis, Dr. Krapiskel. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now, you would probably think that we would start with Donna and Caleb, but that's not what we're going to do. Instead, we're going to start with the other three, because they're alive, and it makes more sense. So, Phil, last we saw of you, you had just left the manager's office.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say you do a quick look around, and you can see that you don't notice any of your family. No Donna, no Caleb, no Anton, no Corbin. Nobody is on the floor any longer. What do you want to do, man?
I mean, I would imagine they found some lead or something like that. Or maybe they got themselves in trouble somewhere else. So I'm trying to remember. Do I recall what everyone was doing? Because I know two of them were causing a distraction.
Yeah. I think we'll say that you recall that Caleb and Donna were kind of causing some problems, and you remember that Corbin was doing something probably with his sort of scrying vision kind of deal, and that's probably the extent of it, something like that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna nonchalantly make my way to the bathroom.
Okay. All right.
And at least I can tell if Corbin was there.
Okay. We'll say you head into the bathroom, the public bathroom, public facing for all customers. And it is a fairly well kept bathroom. It doesn't smell too bad. It's not very big. It is a furniture store. And you don't notice Corbin, and you don't notice a mess on the ground. So you're pretty sure he hasn't been here.
Okay. I need to tell someone about this, but I don't know what to do because I'm all on my own.
Okay. All right. Well, we could say you just sit in the bathroom for a bit, do your business.
Okay.
We check in.
Well, while I'm here.
Okay. Anton, Corbin, last we saw you two were messing around by yourselves. You got left by one of the sort of assistant managers because Corbin got sick. And so you two have been in the back of the store all by yourselves, employee only areas. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, so we got a key from someone's locker. We checked out that special room. Wasn't there like a loading dock or something we were looking at?
There's a loading dock, and you found that there was like a secure stack of boxes that once you broke into it had all those little
That's right, the surveillance stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know what to look for now. I'm going to take pictures of all this stuff, of course.
Of course. Okay. You got a little bit of time probably before someone cycles back here, because you do know that there were a lot of people out front. There were customers, but a lot of the workers were up at the floor because they were dealing with the customers. They were dealing with like the camera crew. So there is a lot of just natural distraction that's keeping the back area. But at some point, someone's going to buy something, and they're going to come back here to, you assume, load up a surveillance device and then take this puppy out of the back. So you guys have you have a couple minutes if you wanted to do something in particular.
I don't really know what to do. I'm usually looking for something to burn. But there has to be like a reason for all these little orb thingies. Like,
yep, I did want to snag one just so that maybe someone that is electronically minded amongst us can look at it. Actually, Corbin, can you see if there's anything that's beyond just technology with these?
Yeah, I could try that, I guess.
Okay. What does that look like? How do you do that?
So one of the pieces of starting gear I had was basically like a little ritual dagger. I don't know how to pronounce it. A tame, maybe?
Sure.
So he pulls out his little ritual dagger. Try and find some like little. It's really not much more than him like trying to pop one open, and then dripping some wax around it, kind of doing some incantations and seeing if anything reverberates. Wouldn't be too
Sure.
much more than just like for the effect, do I detect magic?
Sure. Like this sounds either like investigate a mystery, but if you wanted to say this is more you using your magical acumen to sort of divine what's going on, and we can say use magic if that's your preference.
I definitely would be, yes.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we'll give it a try.
All right, that is a 11. So I'll tell you this: to answer your question, as you take out your ritual knife and you hold it next to the sphere, you actually notice that little, otherwise imperceptible, like rivets and lines inside that sphere begin to light up. It's again, they're almost minute. It looked perfectly flat and sheer, but now you realize there's these little, almost imperceptible grooves. And not only that, but your dagger begins to shake in some particular way. And as you crank the sort of the hemisphere of it and pop the top off, you realize on the inside of the cap of this thing, there are these almost like minute, almost microscopic glyphs. You're looking, you can barely see. Like if you got a magnifying glass, you could probably see. Someone has, you don't know how, but someone has like imprinted into this device some kind of magical charm.
Oh, you're so smart, Anton. You're absolutely right. I can't exactly make out what they're writing, what this is. I mean, part of me thinks it would be some sort of scrying spell, but it's so hard to make out. And they don't use the same codex I do, so to speak. This is weird. It's really weird. That would take so much work. These things are so tiny. Somebody's really good and could just knock these out, or do they have like a bunch of people do they have like some weird labor force that's making all of these? Like that's where my brain goes. Like, how are they doing this? Because this takes a lot of work. I would have to spend all weekend to make one of these.
Is there, I think I asked last time if there were any like stamps on the outside of the boxes, but is there like an invoice in any of these?
Sure.
Or in the one we have open, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say that you can find. We'll say that inside the box itself, you find some manufacturing data, like kind of imprinted on the inside. It references a company, like I think it was like Crepuscle Incorporated, something like that. I can't remember the exact phrasing I used last time, but it's got your arch-nemesis's name in the title of the company.
Yeah. Did it have an address though?
It does, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be North Carolina. It's not local. It seems like outside of the state.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Okay, well, let's make our way back to the crew room before anyone gets suspicious of our activities. Snap a few more pictures.
Okay, fair enough. And we'll say the two of you get back out onto the floor without any issues. And we'll cut over finally to Caleb and Donna, bodies laying on the ground, torn to pieces. No, there you are, surrounded by all manner of Crepuscle's goons in this glowing, technically advanced cave. It looks better than something out of Star Trek or Star Wars. It just looks unreal. You see all sorts of these panels that almost appear flat. You can see that there's extremely clear, like footage of what look like areas around the Hagen Estates and Lake Hagen. You can see places you might remember from your time on the golf course or going around the neighborhood. You can see the lake itself. You also see plenty of other devices that are monitoring and tracking things. You see almost looks like heartbeat monitors, that kind of deal. Like it looks like there's a heavy amount of surveillance happening. And Dr. Crepuscle is standing in front of you, and it's not like he is not without defenses. There are several security officers around him, and here and there flanking him. But he, without any real concern, He looks over at you and he says, I thought for certain that it would be Benkowski that would uncover this first, but I suppose a blind, dumb squirrel finds an acorn every now and then.
Yeah.
Hello, blind, dumb squirrels.
Hey.
You son of a bitch, I should have killed you. How did I not recognize you? And Donna's just like absolutely fuming that like we've had interactions with this person and didn't recognize him. So she's just like, she's not dumb, so she's not just going to charge him because there's guards around, but she is.
Are you saying there are holes in your memory, perhaps? This isn't the first time we've had this conversation, and it probably won't be the
hell
last.
Are you talking about? This is not a conversation we've had before.
Sure it is. Of course it is. Well, by my count, this will be the third time, in fact.
So if we've had this conversation before, have I killed you before?
No, my dumb blind squirrel, you did not.
Donna, why do you want to kill him?
That's an
He's
excellent
the
question,
one that
Caleb.
killed Grandma Muriel.
Not cool, man.
I didn't kill Muriel.
Yes, you just shut up. Yes, you did.
No, I did not. Do you remember me killing Muriel? Do you have evidence of me killing Muriel?
Don't try to confuse me. You killed Grandma Muriel.
Did I? Well, I've killed many people, but why would I kill darling, sweet, beautiful Muriel?
I don't know. If you did, why don't you just tell us?
I've said multiple times now, kid. I haven't.
Just because you say it doesn't make it true. You're an asshole. You killed her.
Well, there's an asshole. Well, that's the Donna I remember. So filled with spit and vinegar. Wonderful. It's that.
Your ass is going to be filled with my foot up it if you don't stop it with this. You killed her. What is with, why are you denying it?
Because I did not kill her. Of course
Then who did? Then who did?
Well,
if you're so freaking smart, who killed her?
They're standing right over there against the wall.
Donna looks to the wall.
You look and you see it's a very reflective metallic wall. And you see yourself and Caleb staring back at you.
There's nobody over there.
I think he's saying we did it.
Thank you, Caleb. Excellent.
How'd we do it?
Well, quite violently, if I recall correctly. Torn to pieces, I believe.
We didn't even get into doing any of this stuff until after she was murdered. What the hell are you talking about? I'd even picked up a gun before that.
Gaps in the memories. Oh, I guess I've went too far last time. Just erased too many things. Well, here for your revenge of some kind. Well, go right ahead. Stab me. Kill me. Slay me. Go right ahead. And he just stands up with his arms held wide.
Hey, Donna.
Yeah, Caleb.
I'll do it if you want me to, but I don't think it's a good idea. But I'll do it because ducks fly together.
We always stick together. But if anyone's going to do anything, I'm going to shoot him where he stands. Well, but for right now, he's playing with us. So no, I'm not going to shoot you right now with all of your guards here. I know you think I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
I stand corrected. You've matured. That's wonderful to see. Muriel would be very happy. Now, could you quit fucking around in my backyard? I have very careful studies I'm trying to conduct here, and you're terribly interfering.
Well, hey, I got an idea.
Well, this should be interesting. Yes, Caleb.
So if we're like interfering and you didn't kill her, what's the harm in helping us out? Because then, you don't have to see us again.
You want my help? With what?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, did we really do it? Like, I don't get it. Like, just help us understand.
Well, you didn't mean to kill her, of course. It was an accident of sorts. You were under a certain compulsion. Let's say.
You made us do something we didn't
Oh.
want to do. I still don't believe that we killed her ourselves.
Well, excuse me, Frederick, please, could you play? Oh, what was it? And he spouts off like a random date. And then on one of the monitors, you see this footage show up of you, Donna, and Caleb, and the rest of your family. And you guys are just lighting up your grandmother. You can see she's just standing there, and you got guns, you've got torches, you've got Molotovs, like everything. It's just a full-on brigade. And she's like firing back at you guys, and she's doing kind of almost supernatural abilities with cartwheels and weaving, and she's casting spells, and she's shooting fireballs at you guys, that sort of thing.
Oh, hey, look who discovered you can go on the internet and like fake videos. Whoa, you did such a good job. Congratulations.
Darling, it's 1989. The internet is not freely accessible to everyone. That's not a memory thing. That's just perhaps the person playing Donna, her memory of when this was set.
Congratulations, you learned how to work VCRs and do cool things with them. Yay for you.
Well, thank you. So here's how this is going to go. I will give you an opportunity to keep whatever precious memories you and yours have collected in your time here. And if you choose to tell your family about the revelation about Grandmother Muriel, well, that is entirely up to you. But in return, I ask that you not just leave the store, but leave us to our very important work. Is that understood? I have no desire to kill you. Muriel was a dear friend of mine. Why would I want to see her friends and family slaughtered and butchered and drained and repurposed into some terrible municipal waste? Why would I want that? I don't want that at all. So, do we have an agreement?
And Donna is just counting the number of people with guns around the area.
Yeah, you're outnumbered, but, you're Donna Theodore. Do whatever the hell you want.
Dude,
Yeah.
I hope I didn't eat her.
I think all of that was completely faked, but it didn't show eating. It showed shooting. So you're fine. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
And as he fast forwards, you see, there's Caleb.
I don't know.
It's not. It's faked. There's new technology these days. It's faked. That's not what happened. You know how many people we've met that have been friends of grandmas and more than friends of grandmas. Does this guy?
She really did.
Does
get
this
around.
asshole seem like someone that she would have been friends with? No.
I never
Don't
met a
believe him.
person she wouldn't treat with respect. But
Well, you honor her memory well with that. But she wasn't an idiot.
Oh, that we agree. Now,
You were an unpleasant person.
that is much like the pot calling the kettle black, I feel. We are unpleasant in different ways. Now, if you would be so kind as to follow Frederick, could you lead them back, please? And again, I will assume that if you leave, that our deal is fine. Just pack up your things and go. If, however, you remain within the town proper, I will assume that our deal is no good. And if that is the case, then we will have a separate conversation, one that will not end so amicably. And if you
Yeah,
think it is
because
a
this
threat,
has just been a blast.
well, I've quite enjoyed it. Caleb?
No.
No? Well, Frederick? Frederick, you're supposed to take my... Frederick, take my... Frederick, thank you. Now,
Yeah, whatever.
and he makes a motion. Frederick leads you guys out, and he takes you to the same room you kind of started in. He just starts hitting these random things, and everything starts to shimmer.
Can I try to
whatever
roll
you like.
a investigate a mystery?
Well, what is it you're doing? You tell me what you're doing, and then we'll see what the roll
like,
is.
essentially, it would be like an awareness or observation, basically, like our surroundings, the buttons he's pushing. Like, I'm trying to really pay attention to all the details.
Of course. That sounds more like read a bad situation, but yeah, I think it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that makes a little bit more sense.
I'm not particularly sharp, so I will, and I think we have to call this ahead of time,
What?
take an audience.
Yeah. For the plus, I think it's a flat +1 we were doing.
All right. So holy goodness. Double
With-
sixes.
Nice.
That is
And
fantastic.
don't forget your +1 at the end.
That's true. You have a 13. Okay,
I
so
think, yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, obviously, you're going to get a couple questions, obviously, but one of them will be you know the correct order of activation that he used. That's not a problem. Let's see. You get hold 3. So there's 2 other things. So, like, you basically have your best way out of here. And I'll say once you return to the floor of the store, and using when you return coupled with what you remember from when you first teleported, we'll say you can have what the best way in. So you'll have best way in and best way out. You have a third question if you would like to use it.
Caleb, if you have thoughts, I was thinking any dangers we haven't noticed, maybe?
Yeah. That
Sure.
sounds good.
What you notice is that they seem to be, in the short time that you were in there, that they seem to be monitoring and studying various cryptids and monsters that they are somehow like luring and controlling and moving around a bit in the area. And so you saw like a monitor that had to do with the crocodile. You had monitors that had to do with the Sasquatch, monitors that had to do with the Kappa, monitors that had to do with some other like ghost-like creature that they are referencing. And so they have several of these. So they seem to be studying them. And he is obviously in charge of that. So it does feel like they are in some ways keeping monsters at bay, but on the other hand, potentially experimenting with the town and the area with these monsters. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to cut back to the store where Phil, you flush the toilet, you wash your hands? You wash your hands.
Yeah.
You step out. Just want to make sure. And there you see coming out of the employee only area, Anton and Corbin.
Hey guys, I was looking for you.
Yeah. Corbin got just a little sick there, but I think we're ready to go. Yeah. Thanks for your hospitality. Everything's good. Thanks.
There is an employee that was just walking past. He's like, "You're welcome," and then continues on. What do you guys want to do?
Phil, let's talk outside.
I was about to suggest.
Okay. So we'll say this happens while the Caleb Donacino is going on, so they're not quite back yet unless you guys trigger your one of the trigger your one teamwork ability. We'll say the 3 of you can leave without. No one stops you. Like a couple of people kind of watch you as you move around. And you do guys, I would say all of you guys are fairly astute. You do notice that there are a lot more people that seem to be working here now than like 20 minutes ago. Like they just, and then some of them are dressed kind of oddly. Like they don't quite match up and you don't remember seeing them. Maybe it's something to do with the commercial. Maybe it's not. Who knows? Yeah.
Before, like as we're leaving, like the employee area in the back, do they have like company polos that some of these employees wear?
I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to find. We'll say somewhere in like the shift, like a shift supervisor or kind of underneath and still in shrink. You find a few that they would give to new employees. Maybe.
Is there a chance to have snagged one or two of those?
Sure. Why don't you'll get at the minimum one.
Okay.
Let's say give me an act under pressure roll.
Okay.
And we'll say you'll get a minimum one. If you do really well, like you'll potentially get more. So as long as you get a partial success, we'll say 1, and anything higher than that is
we'll add a +1 because I did use magic on my previous action. So
okay.
10.
I'll say with 10, there were 2 of you. You grab 2. So you have one for you and one for Anton. You have 2.
I slide one over to Anton.
Yeah. Okay. So
Destined manwich.
So we'll say you guys go out in the parking lot. 3 of you by yourselves. You don't have no sign of Donna, no sign of Caleb. It's middle of the afternoon, like lunchtime-ish. Plenty of folks here that seem to be genuine customers and other strange-looking folk. What do you guys want to do?
Well, first I want to share information. They've got this crazy high-tech room back there, and like the not manager's office, and like it's like a wiggly wall that you just kind of walk through, and like tracking information and like a map of the area. Like it was nuts.
They've got these little super tech orbs that are full of like weird little like runes. Like I don't know how they could make so many of them with all these tiny little runes on them. Like, how are they doing this?
You didn't bring any of them with you, did you? So there were a lot of dots on that map that I saw. And Coinky Dinks, maybe we should talk outside of these strange little marbles.
Maybe. I hate you and you're ugly. Maybe they can hear us.
Let's hope. Where are the other 2? They were running the distraction.
I'm not exactly sure where they went.
Yeah, last I saw they were running the distraction so I could sneak into the manager's office.
Well, I don't want to be a downer, but let's just assume things went terribly wrong.
Okay.
So
let's go find them.
Oh. Yeah, Okay. Yes.
Okay. In we go.
Okay. You go back inside. A few of the employees kind of give you a weird look, but then others are more like, you see, you thought about it. You're coming back. You want something, don't you? You saw something you like. You had to think about it, and now you're back. I knew you couldn't stay away. Knew you couldn't stay away.
That one chair was so comfortable.
I know.
I would
Aren't they
really
comfortable?
like a very nice recliner. More importantly, my sister and his brother, last we saw they were wandering around the sales floor. Any ideas of where they might be?
What do they look like?
Or describe?
Oh, well, there you go, right there. And as you turn around, you can see over in this sort of like jungle tiki set area, you can see Donna and Caleb having moments prior, as you were like, your back was to them. They did the teleport thing, and they're back in that sort of that little display that's very much set up like it's inside of a jungle, except it's just furniture all around. And you can see the 2 of them are there, and they have a handful of these very mean-looking employees around them who are pointing the two of them towards the door. And we'll say at this point, Donna, Caleb, you can see your family.
And Donna's just wide-eyed as she's kind of walking down and kind of rejoining all of you. And she just silently just points outside.
Okay. Away
Okay.
I go.
You guys are outside. You're away from the store. All 5 of you are together. What do you do?
First, I would definitely recommend that we take all those marbles and we go put them in the back of Donna's truck, and then we all climb into the Astrovan.
What do you have?
Well, they're not mine. They're Corbin's and Anton's. But they're marbles, magic marbles that they found.
Petrie is Crepuscle.
So Industries is the one making these little things.
Wait. The weird guy that we met at the golfing tournament, you're saying it's, Mr. Asshole that killed our grandmother?
Yeah, let's burn this place down. Let's go.
Okay, I'll
So
go get the
about
gas
that-
can out the back.
Yes,
I've got some matches.
No.
Well, we may end up there, and I'm not ruling that out. But and she kind of looks over at Caleb.
I think we did it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, did what?
Yeah, it was on video. It
What
showed
was?
it. We fought Grandma, and then I ate her.
Okay. So, wait, when did this happen? What are you talking about?
He showed us
So-
the video.
There's a way to get from the room that we were in and like push buttons like lights
Mhm.
and buttons and whatever, and then we're somewhere else. It's not there. And I think it's fake. I still think it's fake.
Mhm.
But he like has a video that supposedly is us having a fight with Grandma.
So he just showed you the fight. He didn't show you any context.
No, that's true. But
Okay.
um
Did the video have a date on it?
Caleb, did the video have a date on it?
I don't know.
Well,
I didn't.
I mean, Jess
See
said there was
date?
a random date, but
I think it's
Yeah, we'll say it is the day that you commonly associate with the death of your grandmother.
yeah.
okay.
Insert here.
Okay. Here's the reason I asked.
It's the right date.
I just need to go find a bathroom stall because you know what? I think this is one of the situations where that guy's giving us a half truth. He's a fucking asshole. What we need to do is get some fucking context.
Oh, like maybe she was a vampire.
well,
He said he was friends with her, which I think is
One.
ridiculous. Like that's not someone she would have been friends with.
I mean, I think this is an easy situation. Either A, he like actors, faked it. B,
Oh, maybe it wasn't Grandma.
maybe it wasn't us. Maybe it wasn't Grandma.
Oh,
Or B, we know how crazy, Dr. K is.
no.
He's got strange magic balls hidden in all the furniture of this store.
Mhm.
Oh.
Somehow he's leveraging turtles with bowls on their head and giant crocodiles. Let's just say, if we believe him, and it was us that killed Grandma,
No,
Then it
Killed the person that
wasn't-
looked like
No.
grandma in that video. What I'm saying is I'm going to look for a nearby store that's not this place. I'm just going to walk to there and go to their restroom.
There is a
I
Kmart
don't.
not too far away.
The
Yeah.
Nice.
Kmart. Awesome. I'm going to go to the Kmart bathroom. I'm going to
I
regret
don't know
this
how
so
he did
bad.
it. He faked it. I know he had to.
Well,
right? He had to.
I
Right? He had
think
to have
mind
faked it.
control.
Well, so that's what he kept saying, that like we've had this conversation with him before, that this is like the third time we've had the same conversation, and he's claiming that he's wiped our memories. I think he's full of crap. I don't think it's happening. I think he's just saying it to make us guess and wonder. I don't know how we did the video thing, but I mean, I know how to like put a VCR in and push play or push record. I don't know how to do all that.
If it was us, he mind controlled us. You just said that he wiped our brains, more mind control.
So he said.
Yeah, editing's important. Star Wars would have sucked without a good editor. Okay,
yeah,
so it's just the way it goes.
That's absolutely true.
Fair point.
Okay, so context. That's where I'm going. Kmart bathroom stall. Oh my God, this is terrible.
Corbin, can you maybe like hypnotize one of us and see if we can bring back any of those memories?
I don't know. See, so I've got a rote. Like doing the divination, like that's one of my rotes. I can do that easy peasy. What you're talking about, I could try it. The divination like works without really any risk. What you're talking about, I could boil your eyeballs.
Can you shoot for just one eye?
Yes.
I'm game.
Okay.
I just don't like the idea of someone getting in there and noodling around. I mean, it's, it goes back to those mind control lasers from the satellites.
I get it. So I'm going to get some context for that day.
Look, you get probed one time and from there on.
Yeah, no, I get it. The probing. Yep. But I'm just pouring the wax down around the toilet, just nodding and agreeing.
Okay. And it is nasty in here. It is a very, very gross, very disgusting.
Why
public Kmart restaurant?
Like it's one of the bathrooms where like the little metal thing that holds the toilet paper in there is like hung open and somebody smeared shit on the side of the toilet paper.
What toilet paper are you talking about?
How? I've seen that and it disgusts me.
So
and
gross.
I hate people so much because I've seen that.
Oh my gosh.
You just hear like crying family, etc., and you look over and they're just there, and like mom's smoking a cigarette and she's in the wrong one, and then she like leads them out and she's like, fine, if you want your privacy, take your privacy. Why are you pouring wax? Never mind, I don't care. And she takes her kids out, and there's all manner of graffiti in every which way, saying various things about your mother, but not necessarily your mother, pretty much anyone's mother.
Call
your mother.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Okay. So are you trying to, what are you trying to divine? You're trying to divine something?
So I can look at a specific time with the rote.
Okay.
Basically, that's my one like special spell I have as a hex is the divination. So because I have a date, I'm going to go there. They've kind of described it to me. So what I want to basically take is the date. They've described something. I want to see the time leading up to that.
Okay, give it a rip, give it a roll, and see how you do.
Try.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Take a +1.
I will take a +1. Or you know what? I really want to know this.
Like a 7 or an 8, so you can always get like within the window of partial.
It's the last session, so if you've got any luck left, you can use it.
I'm going to spend a luck. It's one of those things like he's trying to do it, but there's just there's one of those little things. It's like a little thing clinging to the side of the toilet that unclogs at the wrong time, and I can't see what's going on. And I have to I gotta redo it. Yeah, I'll spend the luck.
Okay. You see a parking lot of a strip mall of some kind, dark, late at night, early in the AM, whatever it might be. It's not unlike the one that you're nearby, in fact, that Petrie's patio is in. It is years ago, we'll say, but there's really no normal activity. None of the stores seem to be open. And you can see that yourselves are there. You can see that Dr. Krapiskel is there. You can see that there are these strange vehicles and equipment and such all over the place here and there. Again, it looks like something out of, again, science fiction. Like it makes no sense. Like you know, zombies are one thing, but this is ridiculous. Like it just looks absurd. Because the cars or the vehicles themselves, they have no clear signs of wheels. They all seem to just sort of be like hovering in some ways and lit in strange ways. And then you see that there is Dr. Krapiskel is kind of sitting on one of them or standing on one of them, and it's kind of hovering up there. And you can see these big bright lights shine around him, and his hands kind of open wide, and shooting and arcing out of them are these like light tendrils in some way, and they all snake down and they immediately wrap around each of your heads, as it looks like moments prior you were fighting him. It wasn't going particularly well, as you can see that many of you were suffering some damage here and there. You can see Phil on his side, looks like he took a bad blow in his hip. You can see Caleb, leg clearly broken. Like everyone suffered some horrific damage, and then these light tendrils wrap around your heads and just begin to burrow into your ears. And as they do, your eyes all go bright and white. You don't see any signs of iris or pupil anymore, and they're just glowing. And shortly thereafter, you see the familiar vehicle of Grandma Muriel, whatever she would normally drive, station wagon, who knows, pulling up and parking a little bit away. And she starts coming up, and she's got what looks like one shotgun over one shoulder, another shotgun on another shoulder, bandolier filled with shotgun shells, another bandolier filled with grenades. All around her waist, she's got various vials of holy water and other alchemical mixtures. And you can see as she's moving along, she's calling out, and she's like, "Give me back my family, you son of a bitch." And she's just calling out, and he's just cackling. "Oh, my dear, if you want them, you can have them." And he rips the lights out of your ears, and you all turn around, your eyes still glowing, starting to fade. And then he says, "Kill her." And then you all start charging in and fighting your grandmother. And that's about the time in which what Donna and Caleb described suddenly your vision catches up to.
Corbin will just vomit horribly
Okay.
upon seeing that.
It fits perfectly in the Kmart bathroom. Nothing's amiss.
Anton lights up a cigarette.
Anton, I don't think you want those back.
So perfectly in a Kmart.
So, Donna, I'm really sorry. I think it is true. But
Donna's like hanging out in like with her head in the men's room.
Yeah,
You guys are,
he's
like, all in the
clearly
men's room, so
wiping
she's
off
just
like you know, he probably didn't throw up very much because he eats dry toast for nearly every meal. Like it's like
Not
2
much.
ounces of vomit, but he's still wiping off the speck. It was true. But he can do apparently these weird light tendril things that they get in our head. She was trying to save us from him, but he got in our heads and he made us do what you saw. So it was mind
Wait,
control.
he told the truth?
He
What-
told. a
Yeah,
partial
he
truth.
told the truth but didn't give you everything. But that's what I do when I want to
but-
be an asshole. So that's just
But bullets from my gun killed Grandma?
there was a lot going on. It was a team effort.
That,
I gotta say, you're a much better shot than you usually are.
and she's gonna go into the ladies' room.
Okay, I need to take a second to try and think if I could think of a way to, because number one, we're going to go find him and we're going to murder the shit out of him. But
Second.
two, I need to try and think of a way to keep him from putting light tendrils in our heads.
Yeah, we didn't.
Helmets!
We're
Helmets,
tinfoil
Helmets!
honestly,
To the sporting goods shop.
We're in a Kmart. They have everything here.
Be actually something that is reflective. As much as it would make us look like a bunch of loons, tinfoil hats probably aren't a bad idea. Also, and because I'm a spellcaster, like I'll try and think of like the general, like the way he moved his hands. Did it look like he had to do control, like the same way like a caster has to like have like the manipulation of his hands to enable it?
Nothing came out of his hands. He did gesticulate with them. Hard to read whether that was for show or for necessity, though.
I don't know. Because what he's doing, it's weird. Like he's got magic type elements, but it's not really magic. It doesn't match up with what I know. I'm really sorry. Okay,
Listen.
tinfoil hats. We're in
Here's the
Kmart. Let's
plan.
buy some tinfoil.
They got everything. Here's what we're doing. We're going to go get ourselves some bike helmets, some tinfoil, some duct tape. We're going to go to Camping Supply, and they sell those little cans of like Sterno, the jelly fuel. We're going to buy a bunch of those.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that's as far as my plan's gone so far.
Could probably get reflective bike helmets that already have kind of a shiny.
We could.
Maybe.
Don't
I'd
they
feel
got
better if
holes
we
in the
fully
ears?
foiled it. And sunglasses. Super reflective like aviators.
Oh yeah, get the Ray-Bans, the Ray-Ban
Yeah.
aviators.
Yeah.
That's
All
quite
right.
a look with tinfoil hats and Ray-Bans.
Yeah. Okay. You all go shopping. I'm gonna go check on Donna. Well,
So,
and by shopping, I fully intend for us to steal everything.
oh yeah, of course. Well, don't you guys actually have? You guys
We have stolen
what are
credit
your-
cards.
Yeah, what are your abilities that you actually have like wealth at your disposal? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Slush fund. Yeah, you have slush fund.
Yeah, we have
You
plenty
could
of money
technically
to buy
afford it.
anything we need.
But revenge is a lot better if you stole your revenge supplies.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't own the Kmart though. Like that it sucks here, but
Listen,
Mhm.
Kmart is so financially well off
Yeah.
that even if we stole everything in this store, there's no risk of Kmart ever going out
that's
of
true.
business.
That's very true.
Kmart's
Yeah.
indestructible.
Gonna be around for 100 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. It's a
Eventually, in
superstar.
100 years, it'll be like instead of like Democrat Republican, it'll be the Kmart party and the Walmart.
The Walmart party. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll never get replaced by other vendors.
Anything
Yeah.
ever.
That and Venture, man. Venture ain't never going away.
Anton,
Oh,
Caleb, and Corbin, you start shopping. What does Phil find when he barges into the women's bathroom, Donna? What are you up to?
She is bent over like one of the sinks, and just sort of like continuously just sort of splashing water in her face. You can tell that she's like her eyes are very red, and the knuckles on her right fist are also very red, and so she doesn't even hear the door open when you come in.
Well, I know better than to get too close before I announce myself. Hey there, sis.
Oh.
Oh, it must be
Turn
that
water
Kmart
off.
water. It's got like some irritants or something in it, like extra chlorine or something.
This sucks.
Yeah. Not only did he kill our grandmother, but he used us to do it.
We're gonna kill him, right?
We are going to kill him harder than we ever thought about killing him before.
That was pretty hard before. I won't
The-
ever get that picture out of my head though.
Listen, it wasn't us. I mean, it was physically, it was us. But he was controlling us like puppets. There was nothing we could have done to stop him.
That's what Corbin saw.
And that is exactly what Corbin saw. He had some weird light magic that completely took us over. She was there to save us, and he used us against her like a weapon.
So we're going to kill him.
We're going to kill him.
And all of them. And destroy all the shit that they've gotten there.
Right now, the others are getting supplies to protect us from the light thing. I told them to get some of that campfire starter stuff so we can, throw lobbing cans of flaming goo at him. Why don't we go buy sporting goods and buy you a new gun?
Could use some more ammo. So we have to go into the thing, but then we've got to go somewhere else. So there's like a control room, and you got to like push some buttons, and then you go somewhere
You
else.
remember how to get us there?
I paid close attention.
Good job.
So we don't want to use all of the stuff on the store, because the store is just the front. We've got to save it for the other.
Yeah.
And then the store on the way out.
Yeah. We get in there. We murder him hard. We burn it all down. And we keep burning it all down. And then we get out of town.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Phil.
You got it. Let's go get some bullets.
Okay. So, shopping montage.
Ooh.
And now it's over. Okay, so you've got everything you need.
Yes.
And whatever it is that you wanted, you guys managed to purchase from Kmart. Anything you could have gotten from Kmart, you have.
Mm-hmm.
So then the question is once that's done, once you've collected all your materials, what's the plan? It's by the time you're done with the shopping montage, talking heart to hearts, that kind of thing, it's probably still daylight. Are we doing this during the day? Are you waiting till the night? Are you waiting till the store's closed?
He knows we're here. I think the longer we wait, the worse it gets. I have one more idea for preparation, though.
Shoot.
When I pulled out my ritual dagger against the thing, there was like a little resonance, right? It hits me. I'm going to try and study that resonance for a little bit, and I'm going to try to focus on the counter to it. Because if I may not be able to read exactly what the runes are, but if I can get the feeling for the resonance of it, maybe I can have an idea for what the counter spell to it would be. Like something to help. If I could create my own repercussions. Anti-resonance. Yeah.
I was thinking his power seemed to make a lot of use of, pointing at the little bug. Technology as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we grounded ourselves in some way, it would help.
Well, we're still at Kmart. Let's grab some jumper cables.
Hey, just put something on the bottom, something metal on the bottom of our shoe.
And then wrap it up to our ankle and tape it in place. Yeah, we're geniuses.
Okay. All of that, I think, is incredibly reasonable to do in your prep. Corbin, why don't you give us read the situation?
Okay.
And depending on how you do, you might get a hold for later on a potential
read
magic.
A bad situation.
Yeah. Okay, 10 plus.
Hold 3.
So what I'll say is I'll say take a hold 3. You can ask questions if you want, or you can just hold on to that. And if you wanted to use that, basically like a +1 later for on something else.
His hope is to try and just get the feel for how this works. He may not fully understand, but just when the time comes to try and counter weird stuff.
Yeah, we'll
probably be
pay
more
that
that
forward.
we're not aware of.
Yeah, we'll pay that forward until at some point when you use the dagger or the magic, you'll be able to get bonuses from that for sure. Okay. So you guys are going during the day, just going to charge right in?
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I think that's even one of our questions for the
do something crazy and
dangerous
stupid.
fight.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, do something
Donna,
excitement. Take extremely dangerous risks. That's what it's
Donna wants to try to.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've got two of their polos. If we just want to cause some confusion, that we're wearing employee polos when we go charging in.
It may buy us an extra 30 seconds, so can't hurt.
Yes.
I want to try because you said he was doing stuff with his hands, right?
He was, but it in fairness, it wasn't like the energy was coming straight out of his hands. It wasn't exactly the same as what I do. It felt similar. Maybe it's like these little balls. It's technology, but it's magic. I don't know.
Okay. Because I could like bring a lasso and try to like lasso his hands, and we can just drag him around by it and kill him. Or it could maybe stop him from doing stuff with his hands.
If nothing else, that would feel really satisfying.
It would feel really satisfying.
Like draw and quarter this guy? Brilliant. Donna, I've never liked you more than today.
Wait.
I must say I've never hated myself more than today, but that's comforting. It's good to hear. Thank you.
You know, it's a pendulum. It goes both ways.
All right. So let's not get too far into planning specificity. We'll just sort of act it out as we go. So you guys have all of the gear that you were able to get at Kmart. Anything that you could have reasonably gotten at Kmart, you have access to. We'll say you get back in your vehicles. You head back over in the direction of Kmart, or not Kmart, of Petrie's patio. And you see in front of you, it's in the sort of the dying light of the day, as the sun goes down in the west. You can still see Petrie's patio is open. There are people that are coming and going. It's not as big as a crowd as before, but it's there. You guys are standing there. You're looking out. Corbin, you have this distinct impression as you look over at this empty section of of the parking lot that it looks so much like what you saw in your vision. Maybe you're just imagining it, maybe you're not, but it's right there. So you see them in front of you. You know there's tons of people inside. Donna, you know how to do the teleportation thing. Walk me through. What happens now?
Okay. Fire alarm. Because I am an asshole, but I'm not 100% a dick. We should pull the fire alarm, and the people that aren't in the know are going to run away. Because honestly, this guy's he knows we're coming, right? Element of surprise, fuck it. But we can get the people out of there if we pull the fire alarm.
I like it.
Okay.
And
who does it?
Burn this fucking place down.
Hey,
action-oriented conversation. Who does it? Who goes inside and pulls the fire alarm?
I take one of the sternos, light it, throw it into a trash can.
Outside or inside? Are we outside or
inside?
Inside.
Okay.
Inside.
Anton, the doors go wide as the automated thing comes up. Suddenly the music changes overhead, and like inside of the actual department store, we hear what sounds like Def Leppard just comes on. You light up one of the center pads, you chuck it into one of these garbage cans near the entrance. It bursts up into flames far more than it probably should, and you hear "Ah!" as random people start to scream. What next? That's the wrong music. There we go. What's next?
We got the fire. We make a dash for the jungle.
Okay. You see standing out in front of you, Phil, as you start to run in the direction of the jungle. There are many employees here. Many of them, though, half of them are freaking out over the fire. And so you see a lot of them are running in that direction. Some of them are going and kind of trying to actually hit the fire alarm themselves. Another one's going for a fire extinguisher. But then there's a few that they're muscular, they're tall, and they don't seem to give a shit about selling furniture. And they see you coming up, and you see their arms go out to the side, and you see manifesting in their arms digitally right in front of you some sort of gun, this futuristic gun. And he turns and he points in your direction, and he's like, "Go no fucking further, or I'm gonna melt your face."
I shoot him in the head.
Okay.
Oh God.
Go
no,
ahead.
Anton's using a gun.
There
You're
we
in
go.
danger.
Kick some
Take an
ass,
audience
Anton.
+1.
Kick some ass.
You can do it.
Yeah, so we have a +1 to use.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
All right.
Did we say two things happen simultaneously there? Because the second Bert said I shoot him at the head, I say I throw a can of Sterno on him.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead. Roll. Well, if you're throwing a canister, do you want to roll this as like a help action and like he shoots the can?
Yes,
absolutely. Okay. So roll help. So don't roll just yet, Anton. Roll. What's it called? Roll help out, Phil. Give that a roll.
Would you consider this a monster or just a person?
I'll tell you what. It is in fact a monster, though it certainly looks like a person. So you don't know so you can take it. Go ahead, take whatever bonus or whatever you got.
So that activates my power of the heart. I don't have to roll. It's just a 10.
Okay, and so with a 10, that gives Anton a +1 on his shot, as now there's this can coming in the direction of the guy who's trying to shoot his face melting gun in your direction, Phil. Can Anton take it out of the air? He absolutely can.
God damn. Oh my God, Anton. God.
No, this is near the end. It's a 12. I'm spending a luck.
Oh,
every
every time.
First shot. So
consistent.
Flying through the air.
Consistent.
Some poor kid.
You pull the trigger, the first shot misses, and you just hear from somewhere in the back of the store, "Oh!" And then you pull the second trigger again, and that's when it explodes right in the guy's face. Okay, so he's gonna take some harm from that. Do you have the stats on your gun? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So the 38 revolver does 2 harm.
2 harm. Okay.
Yeah, and
All
I would have made a 12 on that since I used a luck. So if that figures into anything.
Yeah. So if you're making a 12 on kick some ass, you can basically get to pick an enhanced effect. So you can either suffer no harm at all back. You can give all hunters a +1 forward. You can inflict double the normal harm you would get back, or you can drive the enemy away in a route. And it would only be this guy. There are other enemies. So it's up to you. Which of those in extra effects do you want?
I think it's
Did you drive him away?
I think it's a tough boy. So let's do a double the harm.
Okay, double the harm will in fact kill him. As you pull this up, you fire, and his head explodes in this aquamarine green goo, and it just coats Phil, and all the fire around from the explosion just begins to start letting all these fake plants and stuff on fire as well. And he falls down, and you just see kind of leaking out of the hole in his neck where his head used to be. It's not red blood, it's just green goo. This aquamarine color just starts to pool, and then you see all of the others turn and look in your direction, and some of them are kind of speaking, it sounds like, and others are doing the same thing. Their arms jet out this way or jet out that way, and each one of them is like manifesting some strange device, some gun. Others look different, and they start charging in your direction. There's 3 more coming at the group. Anton and Philip just taking out one. What about the bottom row? Who's doing something? What do you got?
I'd love to fireball the entire group of them.
Absolutely. Please go right ahead as you start to channel and you fire. Use magic. You can, if you want, to use one of those +1s that you've got. You're sitting on a stack of 3 from what you learned, because there is magic emulating everywhere. And you realize as you reach out and try to pull this destructive magic, it's actually, you're having to strain a little bit more to get it, as if something... Some kind of barrier is slowing you.
I'll use one of them, and I'll use my burn everything ability.
Absolutely.
Wow. Dang it. That really
Partial. You are so consistent at rolling partial successes, and Bert is so consistent at missing.
Screw that. I'm spending luck.
Okay.
I'm gonna fireball the hell out of these guys.
What's the damage on your fireball as it leaps
3
out? Okay.
So
3
luck would take me
points.
to a 12. Do I get any extra for a 12 with
For
spending the luck?
use magic?
I'm not sure.
On a 12 plus, I'll give you some added benefit. You know what? If you want an extra point of damage, I'll give you an extra point of damage. What I'll say is, as it explodes, a few things are going to happen, because even though these things are happening,
their brother was flammable.
Yeah, so everything is kind of catching on fire. Anton, you're actually going to take a point of harm as the guy, as he fell, this shot comes out, and you can feel some sort of almost like thin saran wrap like explosion. It just sort of stuck to your face, and you can feel the skin on your face, Anton, is sort of beginning to melt away. Corbin, as you send out your fireball to explode, you realize standing behind you, coming up from behind the register, there is another one of these who fires in your direction. You have the same thing, the back of your head. So both of you take 1 point of harm, and you have this almost transparent coating that's burning away at you. There's one up behind the register that's got a bead on Corbin. Others seem to be activating elsewhere in the store, but that's in the immediate area. In terms of like a free run towards that jungle component, there's really just this one that's behind the register. So Donna or Caleb, you want to jump in?
Donna can
Go ahead,
shoot
Donna.
on her way into the jungle.
Okay. You turn, you see Corbin, you pull the gun out, you point it right at Corbin. Corbin, you sort of duck off to the side, and then Donna pull the trigger, kick some ass.
All right, so
Anton and Corbin did, Chuck,
+1 to
because they
this.
actually do take damage back because they had the option as one of their effects to not take, so they still will take some residue. Not you, though.
I'm rolling awesome tonight. I got a 10 plus, so I get an extra effect, and I actually had a +1 to that, so it's a 12. So an enhanced effect. As we discussed with Bert's earlier, everybody gets a +1. I don't suffer any harm. Attack inflicts double damage, or attack drives the enemy away. So I'll do what Bert did and do double damage. See if we can clear this room on the way in.
And that'll be enough to take them out, though they will get a shot off before the bullet obliterates and their head explodes into that goo. You two are like tagged with this little patch of clear that just is starting to burn and eat away. It's like they're firing these tiny little net guns, and every time it explodes on you, it's just acidic eating away at your skin. So 1 point of harm for Donna, Anton, and Corbin, but the way is clear to this jungle area. So run up, you run up, you run up. Donna, you know how to do this, so no roll necessary. Bam, bam, bam. Is everyone going with you?
Yes.
Yes, but what I'd like to do in the meantime is I'll take a look at Corbin and I'll be like, thanks for trying. Don't blame yourself no matter what happens, okay? And I go and I pick up one of the headless bodies and I put it in front of me, and then I'm going to protect someone. I'm going to protect Corbin.
Okay. So we'll say as you pull the body up, this is all happening, and the one that one of the ones that he burnt to a cinder is like their dying shot as they fall down is firing more of these in his way. And so if you want, roll that protect, throw the body and jump in the way, and that might actually prevent Corbin's damage that he took. We'll say that's because that's when probably protect. Well, that's when protect someone would happen. It's like you're trying to prevent the harm from happening. But we can say that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So you not only do you prevent Corbin. So Corbin, as you see this thing sail past you, you're getting bumped by Caleb, and you look back and you see Caleb's about to get hit by it. Instead, you can feel the burn slightly on your hair and maybe on the earlobe, but it doesn't hit you. Caleb, you get an extra effect. You can either suffer little harm, -1, or you can... all impending danger is not really relevant in this one, and inflicting harm. Basically, you could just take no damage if you wanted.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay, we'll say that then. As it looks like it's about to hit Caleb when he suddenly picks the body up of one of the other ones and holds it in the way, and that sort of translucent sheet burns down the middle and kind of eats away at that guard. The rest of you run up. Donna, you're hitting every one of you as you're standing within this small radius of patio furniture, as Def Leopard plays. You watch as the entire circumference around you, the entire store around you in this circle begins to fade and shimmer until it's completely gone. And then whoosh, you're back. And when you look around, Phil, you actually kind of recognize the place. It's not the exact thing you saw, but it looks a lot similar. You see all sorts of techno gizmos. You see these long, sterile hallways. You hear the sounds of various devices whirring here and there. And right as you come in, you guys can see down the hall, not in uniforms like you saw inside the furniture, but instead there's these tall, lanky, slender people with far too long of arms and far too long of heads and far too kind of pointy and oblong hold up these guns in your direction, and you hear and you can't really understand the thing they're saying, and they immediately start firing on all of you as you come through. What do you guys do?
Helena's just shooting. She's
Okay.
a pretty simple person. She's just shooting.
All right, fire. Go ahead. Kick some ass. Try to shoot at one of these.
Yeah. Again, +1 to whatever this result is.
So 9's
Ooh,
pretty
so
good.
that's still
Pretty
a
good.
Partial success.
Okay, what's your damage?
2.
Okay, so a 9 kicks some ass. It's partial success. You're going to do 2 damage. Unfortunately, these actually have armor on, and so I'm going to reduce that by 1. And not only that, but one of these comes back, and they're not firing the same types of guns that you got hit by out there. It's like a pulse that just shoots across the hallway. It lands right onto your shoulder, and you guys watch as the clothing over her shoulder pad just begins to disintegrate, and then the skin underneath it starts to eat away, and you start to see tissue and bone begin to appear, as you can go ahead and take 1 point of damage from that armor piercing as well. So they're still firing at you. Donna's firing back. One of them gets hit. What are the rest of you doing?
Let's do number 2, Phil, like we did before. I pull out the gun and say, "Light it up, Phil."
I'm not going to argue with that. I activate Power of the Heart to lob like 2 cans of Sterno down there.
Okay, it's another one of those help someone rolls, unless you have.
I do.
You do, because they're monsters.
just
That's
gets a
right.
10.
So
Yeah,
Anton,
that
you
gives
just get
me
a
a
flat
10,
plus
yeah.
10 on your roll. As Phil, you just
Plus
start
1.
chucking them.
+1.
You're like-
Yeah, so it's +2 overall for what I have. There's no audience ones left.
Yeah, there are.
I'll use 1 if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You've got a +3.
Yeah.
Historically, I need it.
Somewhere.
I'm gonna laugh.
Something's gonna
if you
explode.
get another
man.
like roll. Hey, look at that!
You
I did it.
passed.
That's a
Look
12?
at this. Okay.
Is it?
Or is that count
Uh,
to 3?
I think it is counting 3. It's got the +3 on it.
So
right
it's
there.
a stat of tough +3. So you're right. It would be a 12.
What?
No, the
Why?
+3 is me
It's
raising
a
my
9.
toughness to
Oh.
Nine's the correct.
oh,
Nine's the
okay.
correct roll. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
still a
is correct.
success. You still hit them. That's still great. It still
Yay.
explodes. And I'm going to say, because it's exploding, it's going to hit both of them. And so the damage that you would have done, since it's sort of like you're shooting these out of the air, this damage will apply to both of them. So what is it again for the gun again? You say it was 2?
2.
And it's not armor piercing?
It didn't say so I didn't
Okay,
imagine.
that's fine.
it.
No, that's fine. Okay, so, all right. As it explodes, you see this dust, not this sort of like smoke kind of gets in the way, and there's still shots coming out from behind it, but you guys are in this long hallway. You're getting shot at from the distance. This causes a couple of their shots to go wide, but you can see they're moving like soldiers into these little flanking positions, and they're kind of calling out, and then suddenly klaxons begin to sound, and you see above you on the ceilings, which as you look up now, you realize are semi-translucent, and above you are stars. What the fuck are you looking at? And then suddenly everything goes red, and the whole entire hallway just looks red as every single panel, floor, ceiling, walls, everything begins to start sort of emitting this red. And what do you guys do now? There's still 2 of them alive. They're still alive and firing back.
Caleb's gonna charge at one of them, and he's gonna push his gun down, grab his head, lean him over, and bite his neck. And
Beautiful.
it's probably not going to taste good at all.
I was
It's
wondering
gonna
about
taste
that. What the flavor is going to be.
disgusting. Oh, it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
squirt.
Or, might be, an acquired taste.
sure.
Yeah.
It's true.
See,
Yeah, it's like one of those
Watermelon
like
Jolly Rancher?
it's like one of those like
Ooh,
Canadian
that's not
things where
bad.
you have 2 different looking pieces of candy. One of them tastes really good. One of them tastes terrible. Whatever the hell those things were called. Go ahead, Adam. Kick some ass as Caleb runs down.
I'll take
Pulse
an
is
audience
coming
point.
past. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh,
God.
no.
Did
man.
Phil and I take any harm? Sorry.
Oh,
And that makes
yeah,
it a
you would've
6,
taken
which
one
is
back. Sorry,
still
Hank.
a miss.
double
Anton.
ones.
All right. In this case, I haven't used a single luck point, and it seems to be the theme of the night. So I'm
The
going to
audience
use a
is
luck
being
point.
so awesome, and they're giving us a bunch of bits. So you guys have tons of stuff to work. So use it
Hype.
because it's not rolling over to the next game. So use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a luck point, so
Okay.
I'm turning it into a 12.
So you leap out. They're firing at you. A 12. A 12 means you get to pick an enhanced effect. Caleb, you can suffer no harm, meaning he's not going to get a shot off on you. Or you can do double damage. It's up to you. Or you can give everyone a +1.
I am going to just avoid all harm from this. Like
Absolutely.
I said, I pushed his gun down, so maybe he doesn't get the shot off until after I pushed it down.
Absolutely. I think that makes perfect sense. What is the damage on your attack?
4 total.
Yeah. So
3 plus
describe what you do to this guy as you leap on top of him.
Yeah, I push the gun down. I grab his head and I like just completely wrench his head to the side, and that puts a lot of pressure where the neck is, and like it kind of bounces up a little bit, and as soon as I bite into it, it just bursts open.
And so as the neck bursts open, the head falls, that the body goes limp. You see like this visor flip up, and you see a face looking up at it, but it's not a human face. There's these giant eyes, massive giant eyes, like kind of black and glistening. And there's this almost imperceptible little tiny slit of a mouth and no nose. And you just see the little thing kind of move. And it comes to it. Yeah.
The question is, does it trigger my pure drive hunger curse?
I don't see why it wouldn't. You did just kill a living thing. So I feel like you got to make it a roll. Yeah, give that a roll to see if you get distracted and start devouring fancy new meat, or if you keep your head on your shoulders, unlike this guy.
All right, let's take that audience +1.
Please do.
I got a 9.
Okay.
So partial success. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What I will say is partial success. So here's the worst outcome. You do keep hold of your faculties, and so you can act like normal. But you also, by biting it and eating and devouring some of it, you feel this awful, awful pain. And I'm going to say anytime that you attack and try with your teeth and just sort of ripping them apart, you're going to have a -1 for we'll say the next roll. We're going to give you a -1 as like the memory of just the hideous, horrific taste almost gives you instinctual pause.
Yeah.
Okay. There's still one other who is now turning in the direction of Caleb and is getting ready to fire at Caleb. And you can see they're no longer pointing at you guys. They turn and they're a handful of feet away from Caleb, and they're getting ready to fire point blank. They're going to obliterate Caleb if someone doesn't do something.
The horned serpent tattoos will light up.
Okay.
Corbin will make sure to put the palms together and do the burn everything. I'll do the option to where it's 3 ignore armor.
Okay.
Since I
perfect.
can focus on a single target.
They are, in fact, wearing some sort of highly advanced, one might say, extraterrestrial armor. So do you want to take one of your +1s? Because you still have 2 left.
I have a +1. We don't have a +1 from the team already, do we?
No one's used it to pay it forward.
Okay. I've got my own +1. No, I'll save it. I'll save it for when we mess with the main dude.
Okay.
So I've already got my own +1 thanks to the Devil's Lock.
Okay.
So whatever pops up here in a second, if it comes up, please do. So a +1 to whatever that was.
That's an 11.
11.
So that's a
Turn
success.
that into a 12.
Okay, so what's the damage that you do, like normal, and then we'll figure out what your effect is.
Sweet. So my Devil's Luck will turn that into a 12 then.
Oh,
It'll be
okay.
3 damage, ignoring armor.
Okay. That'll be enough. That'll definitely be enough.
And then I'll just choose not to take harm, maybe.
That's perfect. That sounds perfect.
Yeah. He turns around to try and gun down my brother. I'll burn him to ash. Just kind of
He tries to
focusing
turn
both
around.
the serpents.
He tries to turn
The
back
two
to you as he's
serpents
feeling
spinning around, joining each other.
And he falls to the ground and just disintegrates on the floor. It's just a big pile of ash. Now, warning klaxons are going. You hear like this voice kind of come on, just kind of echoing across the halls.
God, it's so obnoxious.
What do you want to do? What's next?
I'll definitely look to Donna and Caleb with a lead the way kind of look.
Donna will go full in the direction of where she expects to find Creep Hustle.
You run right past where Caleb is almost retching from the flavor of this creature, and you see another one of those doors that Frederick had led you through, and you remember he kind of like waved his hand or something like that, and you're doing that. It doesn't work, but then it dawns on you. You pick up the arm from the one that Corbin just disintegrated, and there's just a single arm left. You wave the arm, and suddenly, and it opens up, and you can see the same room you're in, that monitoring station. You can see the same displays. You can see the same like seating arrangements and such. But instead of seeing a bunch of humans, you see whatever the fuck these things are, and you can see some of them are like hiding behind chairs, like others are turning and running at you, and they're charging at you with some sort of weird electrical sword that's whipping around, almost like it's a light whip, and they're swinging it down at you, Donna, and Donna's about to get just sort of sundered in half. Who does something?
I do.
Okay, Caleb, what do you got? You're right next door. You're right next door to Donna. You're a couple feet away.
Yeah, I'm gonna charge forward, and I'm gonna use protect other as I'm gonna try and protect Donna from what's happening.
All right, you try to leap or push her away or something. Go ahead and roll that protect someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in the way. I'm gonna be like, fucking vampire.
That's a miss.
Doesn't happen. Yeah.
All right. On a miss, you actually end up making things worse. And so as you try to kind of push and help Donna, you watch as you kind of stumble a little bit. And when you look down, you realize one of the arms of the one that you were eating is still sort of mobile and just instinctively grabs you, and you stumble, you slam into her. And then this electrical light whip just slashes through the two of you. Both of you take armor piercing. So if you have armor, this cuts through 2 points of damage as this, much like Wonder Woman, wraps around the two of you, drags you together, and you feel it eating away at your skin. Like it's literally going to bifurcate you in half if it continues to pull. Phil, you had your hand up like you were going to do something else. What were you going to try to do to help here, Phil?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna
push them in, close the door, go away.
No. I'm gonna save them, but I'm gonna activate my what could go wrong, and I'm just gonna charge into danger to just try and tackle this one with the light whip. Try and break his grasp, get them free.
I absolutely love that, Phil. Don't forget, you guys have plenty of help from the audience. So, okay, what could go wrong? Is this a roll? So you get a hold 2, and then you can spend holds to inflict extra harm or reduce someone's harm suffered by 1. And you get to take +2 forward on an act under pressure roll. So later on, so this is so we could do it now. We can say this is an act under pressure. This is less about attacking them and more about just trying to help your friends.
Yeah,
is that what you want?
I'm good with that. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Then roll your act under pressure. Take your +2 forward. Yeah.
Okay. +2 forward. I want to spend an audience, and we're gonna bump this up to +3.
Okay. So this is what you're getting from your special playbook move.
It's a 10.
Okay.
Nice.
So for act under pressure with a 10, you do exactly what you set out to do. So Phil, what does it look like as you stumble in here and manage to separate them from this grapple that they just got lassoed in? How does it look? Because that's what you're able to do.
So, and I don't imagine, like, I imagine they're tangled up. So I don't imagine I'm undoing the tangle. I'm just keeping it from getting pulled. So I just charge in and Batista spear this damn alien. Just you see some dad shoes go flying up in the air as I knock this guy down to the ground. Yeah, that's what I do. I just tackle him to the ground. I disarm him. That way,
laying on the ground, that weird whip slides off to the side, and you can see he's on the ground. Phil, you're in the room. You're surrounded by other these. There looks like there's a lot of them are just ducking and hiding. They're like, but this one is big and beefy and dangerous.
Sure.
But Phil, you're up in there. Caleb and Donna are right in the door. This one's scrambling to get its weapon back. What's everyone doing?
Donna's looking for the main guy.
Do not see him in here. There is a door off to the side, though.
Then that's what Donna would want to focus on. Like,
okay.
These are not who we're here to get revenge on. So she is like eyes on the prize.
You run. You've got the arm in your hand, and you see opening up in front of you is a massive gallery. Like, it's huge. There's these light, like, columns on the left and right, and there's this central walkway down the middle that each time you take a step just seems to glow a bit. Off to the right into your left, you see the red light flashing, but it's still kind of fading off into this blackness. You're like in a throne or some kind of like king's chamber. At the far end, you see elevated on a dais a good 30, 50 feet away, somewhere in that, you see some sort of desk, device, you're not sure, and standing behind it, you see Dr. Krapiskel, and he's just clapping. Well, I suppose our deal is off then. And he's kind of clapping. But you realize he's not clapping for you, as he's just sort of putting his hands together, and each time they contact, he grows and grows and grows until his arms are about 10 feet wide apiece. His head extends, disconnecting kind of from where it had been sitting in a perfect place, and it starts to slither and grow even taller. And all of that appendage of humanity begins to fall away as he reveals his true form. And then he says to you, I did not lie to you. I quite enjoyed your mother, grandmother, whatever she was. And then his face falls off, and you see behind him is that same dark, gigantic black eyes and tiny little sliver of a mouth. Okay, what is everyone doing? There's one behind. Donna.
Yeah.
Donna, you want to fire? Want to kick some ass?
Absolutely.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Please do. Kick some ass.
+1 from this roll.
Okay.
It's actually going to be +2, is because I know my prey, and I also have what doesn't kill me. So I've taken harm.
Okay.
And I know
your
this prey.
audience +1.
Okay.
That would be a +3 then.
All right. That sounds good.
So yeah, that's over 12.
All right. What's your damage?
I mean, I just have my gun, so it's a 2. So I will use the advanced for double.
Okay. And you're not going to do anything back? Okay. All right. So as he's standing up there, his arms growing, all of the sort of the trappings of humanity just slipping, falling off, his real form in front of you. He shakes it off as a bullet and he hits into his very sleek looking body that is a substance you're kind of unfamiliar with, and one of these long fingers comes down and plucks it out, and he just goes, and the metal just turns into dust and falls away. And he looks at you and he says, and then with his long arm, he does this sweep, and you see extending out from the darkness to your right, a force field of some kind just launches through, take 1 point of harm, and you stumble forward. And as you try to go back, you realize you can't, as there's now a barrier between you and your family behind you, who are still dealing with this guy who has now grabbed the whip since Donna decided to move forward inside. So he picks up the whip and he reaches it back like he's going to slash it down at Phil. What's happening?
I mean, I know like one of the major hex things is you have to choose what your temptation is. I have to bring people down. I see Donna go in. I'd feel compelled to charge in with her.
Okay.
Because fuck this guy.
You go running past, you watch, and you hear the yelp of Phil as the whip does in fact slash through Phil. Phil, go ahead and take 2 points of damage as it does so and begins to wrap around, we'll say, your leg. Corbin, you go running past just as this force field pushes her forward, and as you step forward, you realize there's this now a force field between you and her. It's glistening and reddish in color, and it's creating this somewhat translucent film that's very difficult for you to see precisely what's happening on the inside, but you can see vague shapes. What do you want to do?
I can't get in. One of the effects that I can, when I do use magic, is to banish a spirit or curse. Could I potentially try and use my magic along with my earlier thing? I've got the idea, the resonance of what he's doing. I want to use that along with my studying to try and like rip this barrier apart.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Go ahead. Roll use magic. That's a brilliant idea. I love it.
Can I do something to try and help?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so going with the idea that he uses technology a bit, I'm going to rip off the electrical cord from my Commodore. And I'm going to find an outlet nearby, shove it into the ground, and like ground out the shield.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so you come running past. Both of you step over the slowly dying Phil and into the room with Donna. Corbin, you're going through some sort of like magical machination in front of it. Something is not quite working right. You're trying. Anton comes running in after you. Anton, you notice as you rush off to the right-hand side of this large gallery, this large chamber, you go into the darkness where this force field is emitting from, and you find what looks like sort of a receptacle where that seems to be projecting from, and you jam the electrical equipment in there. Go ahead and roll help someone. And with this might give Corbin a +1 on his roll.
Okay, do we have any pluses left?
I think we have a couple.
Yes, we do.
From the audience.
Okay, I'm going to use one.
Yeah.
Bump up my cool and help out. Yes!
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Fan-freaking-tastic. That's an 11. Okay, +1 to your roll, Corbin, from Anton, as he's giving you a hand.
Okay, sweet. So I'll do my +1 from Anton. I'll do my +1 from Devil's Luck, and +1 from my earlier study. So
okay,
I'll roll my thing, and then we'll just toss up +3 on the end of it whenever it rolls
perfect.
up.
+3 at the end of whatever you roll now. Okay. That's a 12. Yet another 12. Okay, so with a 12, you will get obviously the effect that you want. So what does it look like as you rip through this force field?
It's so like Anton shoving the electrical outlet there. It's basically like he's kind of like he's previously like when he heals people, he has the serpents kind of split into like a hydra formation where they split out. This is like an extension of that where they like. He's got like this weird orb of a force field. Now the snakes continue to spread out more and more until they wrap around the field, come back around until they find purchase right where Anton shoved the wire, and they find that weak point, and all these little tiny little horned serpent heads grab onto that, and the little flame swords just start pulling it back, like peeling an orange.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then because you had a 12, you're going to get some kind of added benefit. What I'll say is that you guys managed to short out both technologically and through whatever metaphysical abilities Corbin has. So the other force fields that he has in here, I'm going to say are not going to function. So that's your added effect, that you've shorted it now for at least the next few minutes until it repairs itself. So if you can get them
Amazing.
down, you might be able to do it before they come back up. All right, back in the other room, however, Caleb, you're getting up. Phil is now taking the brunt of this attack of the whip. So what are the two of you doing?
All right, so Caleb is gonna because they're on the ground right now, right? So
Yeah,
it's
Phil
going
and him are on the ground, and he's dragging Phil towards. But every time he pulls, like the whip gets tighter around Phil's leg.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stand over him and I'm gonna kneel down. I'm gonna headbutt him right in the mouth as I'm like, "You will not suck his blood," and then I'm psyching myself up because I know this is gonna suck. This is gonna taste so bad.
It's gonna be terrible.
And then I'm gonna lean in and I'm gonna rip his neck out with my teeth, or I'm gonna try to, but I'm gonna have that -1. So I'm gonna take the +1 audience point
to counterbalance. Absolutely.
Counterbalance. Yeah.
Kick some ass. Go for it. That's beautiful. I love it.
Seeing that Caleb is about to try and bite him in the neck, I'm gonna just grab onto this whip with my hand and just try to pull it, activating my power of the heart ability to try and make it easier for Caleb to get a neck bite.
Okay. Is this an auto success like your previous one?
It's still just a flat 10 for me.
Okay. So you automatically help as though you rolled a 10. So another +1 on this, Caleb.
All right. So
Your hands burn as you wrap your. It's almost like you're grabbing a lightsaber.
Yeah, my golf
so
game is going to be in so much trouble.
it makes it 11. It's 1 louder.
Okay, so on an 11, you are going to get your attack through. Absolutely. You also get an extra effect. So again, you can take +1 going forward. You can give another one of your allies a +1, just one of them. You can inflict terrible harm, which would give you +1 harm. You can suffer less harm back because you will be suffering back from this, or you can force them where you want to force them. What do you think?
I think I'll do 1 less harm to myself.
Okay.
Out of this, as maybe he tries to bite my head or something, but I'm able to break the tooth.
So you headbutt and headbutt and headbutt until this helmet that he's wearing shatters. And then when you do so, you can see it's not his mouth that gets you, it's his eyes. And his eyes begin to glow. And you see this just cyclopean burst of energy just right into your face, right into your mouth. Skittles fruit flavor. It's the worst, nastiest thing you've ever tasted in your life. With the -1, you can take 2 points of harm. Okay. But how much damage do you do to him?
3 + 1, so 4.
That is enough to take him out, though. So he is now down. So you crush him down. You hear the last little whimper as he falls. Both of you look up through the open door. You can see the rest of your family is already charged in. And in the far side of the gallery is this massive, slender man-like creature. What do you guys want to do?
I'm starting to think they're not vampires.
I don't believe that, Caleb. You know what? No escape. Because this guy's going to find a way. I'm going to grab that whip.
Sure.
And I'm just going to start going at consoles here in the main room.
Nice. And you can do that. And you can see that some of these other ones are trying to get you to stop, but they're afraid at the same time.
I will be careful not to hurt them because they're not combatants, but yeah, I'm taking out these consoles.
I love it. No roll necessary, easy enough to do. And each time you do it, something short circuits. You see a monitor goes off. You see a light fluctuates. Everything. It seems to be destabilizing something. Who the hell knows what? But it's certainly destabilizing something. In the big room, meanwhile, you guys, as Corbin finishes ripping apart this barrier, Anton, you rip the Commodore cable out of one and jam it into the next receptacle, preventing the next barrier from coming up. You watch at the far end as Dr. Crepuscle starts moving his hands around in a particular way, He's just sort of creating this circular motion, and then emerging out of his back, you just see like 8 separate, like these long, flexible lights just begin to float around. And he calls out to you with this villain monologue, and he says, what would you guys like to do as they begin to launch forward you?
I want to burn every one of those arms with an AoE attack.
Go for it. I love it. Roll your magic. This is gonna you've got another +1 left from your previous research.
So he spreads out all of his arms. All of the snakes kind of come back around, but the snake kind of then come around, and they each like split into a direction to match each of the arms, and they'll try to match them and grapple them and stop that.
Okay.
So I'll take I used magic last time, so there's the +1 from the one thing and a +1 from double luck.
13. Okay. How much damage? How much damage is that doing? Because it's going to damage him, and then I'll say the added effect is that it destroys all of the lights, right? But it also is going to do damage to him.
Burn everything lets me do. If it's a single target, it depends. Do I need to treat each of the arms as a separate target?
No, because they're not quite targets, but like you're specifically trying to disable them. So I'm saying the explosion will disable them, but he's also going to take damage at the same time.
If it's single target, I can do 3 damage, ignore armor.
Okay. We'll treat it just like that. And unlike the bullet, which it hit him, but he was very confident, as this ball of flame comes hurling across, lighting up the now darkening room. Each inch and foot it travels, it explodes on that dais. And for a moment, it almost looks like he might be dead, as when the smoke settles, you see this almost like a wilted flower, the stem bending over top of the dais. But slowly he gets back up. And you can see there's scorch marks here and there that are slowly repairing themselves on whatever kind of dermis that he's wearing, whether it's technology or whether it's his own skin. All of those various arms are done. However, he does say, "Bah!" And you guys watch, those of you in the room, as shooting out of his mouth, there is a ball of fire that with each inch and step begins to grow. And it looks identical to the one that Corbin just launched. And it explodes right on top of Corbin and Donna. Anton, you are far enough away by the wall that this isn't affecting you. But Corbin and Donna, you take the exact same damage back as this explodes on you for 3 points of harm.
Well, while he's doing that, can Anton run forward? And
Of course.
I still have the slaughterhouse tool, which I think is a meat hook.
Sure, we can say that.
I want to run in, slide down, and just get him right up in between the legs of that.
Hell yeah.
meat hook.
Okay. Absolutely.
While his armor is still kind of forming,
Oh, man.
The ball of fire hasn't even exploded on your teammates as you slide across while he's distracted. Go ahead and roll kick some ass, Anton. How are Corbin and Donna looking from that explosion?
Not the best, but
I didn't even matter what I rolled because I fully intend to spend the luck to make that a 12. So yeah, getting that cursed meat hook up in there and just
yank it.
paint stab.
So it's from Razorback, right? I got this.
Yeah.
I got the stats for that. Okay.
And Donna,
it has. I got
Donna,
it down as doing 2 harm, and it might be spooky of some sort. But anyway,
nice.
You're
nice.
good.
Donna looks a little less lucky because she spent a point of luck to not take that harm.
Okay. Anton, as the explosion on Corbin and Donna settles, you guys look up and you see splurting out from the bottom half of Dr. Krapiskel. You see that same aquamarine blood that you've seen elsewhere, and it's half on Anton, who's sliding past him, having just slashed through him. And you see Anton a few feet away come to a stop, and he looks down. Anton, you have a choice. It is a 12 on that attack, which means you get a bonus. Do you want to not take harm back, or do you want some other effect?
No,
up to you.
Anton was fully expected to get fried for this, so I want to double that damage. I want to do as much harm to him as possible.
Okay.
Or
This
if there
gonna-
is
I think it's like +1. No, it is doubled. Never mind. I'm sorry. It's doubled.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So he is not looking good at all. But he reaches down with his long arm, and you see as he grabs you, his head extends. He's like pulling you towards him, but his head extends. That tiny little mouth opens again, and you see these almost metallic-like fangs, one after the other, open up, and then he just
Vampire.
right down into you. You are going to take. Oh goodness, you are going to take one point of harm, but you see as he drinks in Anton's essence, he also seems to be healing himself. What would you guys like to do now?
Go on,
Donna
quarter,
would like
Donna.
to run at him and try to. So, I have two things that I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing that, though, she's just gonna run and try to just stab him,
Okay.
like in the mouth.
Okay, so you just start running up as he starts to pull his head back away from where he drained Anton, and his eyes kind of glowing, it seems, from the ecstasy of doing so. And he turns, unravels Anton as he got what he came for, and then looks at Donna as Donna leaps up onto the dais and is trying to bring the weapon down. Donna, roll kick some ass.
All right, let's see how this goes. So I've got my 2+1s to whatever the roll is. So that is a 12.
Okay. Same deal as I asked Anton. Do you want to suffer no harm as your enhanced effect, or do you want double damage? Or
Yeah, a knife
we're
is
gonna say
only
he's
one
the-
harm,
Yeah. Okay.
so double.
All right. Okay, Donna. Well, you managed to stab into him as you leap up and you stab him like right in the face. And you see as the blood begins to just course out of his neck. I'll say because you did that, I'm not going to have him do the life drain.
Okay, like I'm definitely aiming for those stupid teeth of his, if that's at all
Actually,
possible.
I can't. No, I'm going to use the other life drain. Sorry, I have multiple life drain abilities.
Sure.
You're right next to him. You just stabbed him.
Mm-hmm.
His hand comes up to your face and it just smothers it. And then his fingers begin to meld into your skin as he starts to pull, like he's pulling your face off, and you literally feel the skin and the tissue start to tug away. 4 harm back to you, which as he does so, you can see the membranes, that kind of weird dermis that he has, is almost like it's draining and drinking and repurposing the skin that it's pulling off your face, Donna. Okay. You guys see that Donna is up on the dais. Anton is up on the dais. They're both fighting. Corbin, you just got toasted by a fireball, not unlike your own. Phil and Caleb, you're now running into the room. Caleb, you have the whip. This guy looks harmed. There's
Phil has it.
freaking blood everywhere. Phil's got it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
What does everyone do?
I like that. Like Donna's so filled with. I really want Donna's right over him, wanting to kill him. I really want to support that. So what I want to do is, like, as she's having her face pulled off, I want to shoot the little like multi-headed fire serpents up to try and reforge her. Then kind of keep her held in place. As much as he's trying to disintegrate her, I want to counterbalance that by trying to keep her healed. I'll use my my healing ability to try and keep her steady. So I really want Don to be the one that kills her.
Absolutely.
Kills him.
Absolutely. He is just in this constant state of drain. Now his eye is getting brighter and brighter with each second. Corbin, your fiery healing begins to burn up
Nice.
around the nerve endings of Donna.
So I'll have a +1 for Devil's Luck, and I'll take an audience +1, so we'll toss a +2 to the end of it.
Okay. +2 is going to make this a 12. So
So she would normally heal 3, and
Okay.
then whatever we feel is a fair.
So I'll say the keeper added effect. I'll give you the added benefit. We can say this cascades over into Anton. We can say Donna takes an extra point. Corbin, it's
I
your
want to
choice.
boost her. Like, my feeling is like she's standing right over me. I want to boost her.
Okay. So go ahead and take 4 back. Phil, Caleb, you've run into the room. It is insane in here. What do the two of you do?
Caleb charges forward and
Okay.
goes right at the neck of.
Fantastic. It's a very long neck too, so it's
Yeah,
shouldn't be
I
too
gotta
hard.
run up. Gotta run all the way up there.
Okay. Donna's connected to him. Anton's slashing away at the base of at his legs and in his bottom of his torso. Corbin is reaching out with his arc of fire, re-stitching in. Like you see these beams of Corbin's firearm and the guy's arm itself wrapping around Donna in this constant state of disintegrate and rebuild. So Caleb, go ahead and roll your attack with your kick some ass. Phil, what are you doing while that's happening?
I want to use that whip I want to try and catch this dude's hand, his arm, and try and pull
Okay.
it off Donna.
Taking the audience
Absolutely.
point.
Go right ahead. Kick some ass for Phil as well. Unless you
also
yeah.
taking an audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll say take a +1 from this as he is now consumed with Caleb and Donna, and you're just trying to pull it off of him as opposed to doing a full-on attack.
Sure.
So we'll say that. So yeah, we'll get a +1 for that. Anton, all of this attacking is happening where in the ground. What is Anton doing as well?
Can I try and help by tripping him? Just like grabbing an ankle with that hook and just yanking to
Hell
get him
yeah.
off balance?
We can kick some acid. That works. Or if it's better for you, you can do act under pressure if you'd rather just do that. It's your call.
Same.
Okay, give it a
But
roll.
I'm trying to help someone's attack. So would that be help
Okay.
out?
Yeah,
okay.
roll help out. We can say that'll help out someone's attack. Let's see. Start with Caleb. Caleb, how did your attack do?
I got an 8, so partial success.
Partial success. Okay, so Caleb, as you leap up and a very long neck, you start gnawing at it. And again, that taste is just hideous, but it's exploding and it's bursting. It's like a lion just tackling a gazelle, just ripping through it. But you're not able to sever it. It's just like the tendons or whatever is keeping the head to the rest of the torso together. It's just so strong and tough. You're not quite able to decapitate. What's the total damage?
4.
4. Okay. It is not looking great. Phil, how did you do on your roll?
With that +2, it comes out to a 12.
Oh my gosh. With the 12, I'll say we'll say not only does the arm wrench free, I will say we'll take the other as a bonus if you're cool with this. We'll say a +1 to one particular person, whoever we want.
That's what I was about to say, and I would like to give that to Donna.
Okay. So you wrench the arm free. His arm goes wild. His second arm reaches down to Caleb and just sort of slashes down. You realize his arm had kind of done that same sort of manifestation, almost like this instant digital 3D printing kind of deal to this dagger, and just slashes down at Caleb. As Caleb, go ahead and take back. It's armor piercing. It's 2 harm. Arm and armor, like basically would cut through armor. And then Anton, how did your trip go?
I give a +1 to someone.
Okay, so we've
probably give it to Donna.
Okay, so Donna, you have a +1 from Phil, a +1 from Anton. This slender Matt, like he's like 10 feet tall, even taller perhaps if he were to stand up straight, just goes falling down, bounces off the dais itself and is laying on the ground. Caleb is gnawing at his neck. The fire from Corbin is wrapping around Donna. Donna looks like basically like she's in inferno mode. Phil, you yank free the arm and you still have have one of his arms like wrapped up in the actual whip itself. Anton, you're pinning his legs down so he can't get back up. Donna, what do you do?
Hannah wants to basically rip him in two. So she was like really close to his mouth and trying to stab it. And she's just sort of like, screw this knife. And she just wants to reach in and just like pull apart.
Oh,
Okay.
like Batman and that crocodile.
Yeah. Go ahead. Roll your kick some ass. Take +2 from your from Anton and from Phil helping you. And
So I get
let's see how you do.
+4 to this roll.
My
basically, with
goodness.
Everything else. Which,
Good thing.
holy crap, I needed because I rolled a 7. So
Okay.
that puts me at an 11.
Okay. So with an 11, you're going to be able. Do you want to inflict terrible harm? Do you want to take +1 to this damage?
Absolutely. That's what she's here to do.
Good thing, because he would have been at one health otherwise. As Donna, describe how you stab into him and with the help of your family rip Dr. Krapiskel apart.
Yay.
So she kind of had put the knife down before. And so like her hand is already kind of down in his mouth. And so she literally just wants to like at his, what serves as a jaw, just pull top side from bottom side.
Okay. And so as he wrenches free, you hear him. The eyes dim, go black, no longer shining, this matte black, and then begin to deflate and wither like a balloon losing its air. The body splurts that aquamarine blood from both sides where you had wrenched him free. And the arm that you had wrapped up, Phil, goes limp. The legs no longer kick that Anton was holding down. And Dr. Krapiskel is dead on the dais in his office.
And Donna just takes because the top of his head is in one hand. And she kind of just looks at it and just kind of shows it to everybody, drops it, and just steps on it. So
Anton snaps a Polaroid as her foot comes down.
Fantastic. As you all take a breath, you look around. You see your grandmother's killer, your memory stealer, on the ground in front of you. The klaxons are going, but there's malfunctions from whatever Phil was doing from smashing all those consoles. You look up and you see meekly coming into that room from the distance the ones that you didn't harm, Phil. And they're like waving these slender arms. Tick, 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 tick. And they're pointing upwards. And you can see that where that ceiling was, and you can kind of see all the red light. Yeah. It's getting faster. You can see there's this rapidity of blinking.
Well,
told you he was a vampire.
He was. We gotta run.
Okay, and I start running.
Okay, so you guys start running. Take a trinket or two, a whip here, a gun there. You start to feel the entire building or whatever you're in begin to shake and shake and shake. And you notice that as you're running, a lot of those smaller guys, the ones that didn't attack you, the ones that seem to just be technicians and scientists, they start to move off and they take these different paths. You guys are going back to wherever it was that Donna was able to lead you in. You have that ability. You got that answer. You got that information. You know exactly the way out of here. But you watch other ones just disappear into these tiny little escape pods or some kind, right? And they're all just and each one of them. Donna, you reach back to that weird little circle. You doop, 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 doop. And once more, the world gets translucent. You pop back up. You are in a on fire interior of Petrie's patio. It is just inferno. There's just aquamarine everywhere, fire everywhere. This beautiful patio furniture is going to go to waste. You guys start running out. And as you look around, you watch and you turn, you see the entire department store of Petrie's Patio begin to collapse in on itself as like each one of the walls loses stability from the fire. But then you watch as like shooting up from it, you just see these small little almost imperceptible rays, just each of them going up into the sky. And after a moment, it all collapses inward. And Petrie's Patio is no more.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we did it. Why don't we go
And-
have a drink for Grandma?
Donna looks down at her foot and she still has like the head of this guy like stuck to her foot as she's been running. And she like kicks it off.
And as you kick it off, Phil, you look up, you can see across the parking lot, there is just some completely nameless, non-chain bar. It just says bar and lounge. And the last thing we see is the group of you walking across the parking lot, dragging behind some of you, whips stuck to your legs, alien arms wrapped around your arms, coated in aquamarine goo. You go inside, tip a glass, hold one up for Muriel, and that is where we're going to go ahead and end Family Splatters.
Yeah.
All right.
Very good.
All
We
right.
made it.
Mamma mia.
That was really
Indeed.
close. That was,
Yeah,
I had a
he was
whole
strong.
crap ton of harm.
Yeah, I figured. I thought so.
Good.
Yeah. He was an alien vampire is what he is. I took a vampire and I took an alien, actually technically alien vampire necromancer, and I just smushed them together.
Caleb
Some
was right
80s
the entire
VHS.
time.
I remember.
Yeah. Well, so thought it would be fun. All right. Fantastic.
Yes,
It
Life
was,
Force. Thank you.
Life Force.
Warncast.
Oh my gosh. I remember Life
Yes,
Force.
that's exactly what I was trying to remember.
I didn't intentionally do that, but maybe it was informing slightly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
I think,
Life Force.
yeah. Because I remember watching it when I was younger, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that is the end of Monster of the Week. I'm sure we'll probably come back to it at some point in the distant future. But for now, you're done with Family Splatters. The family barely survives, but they survive nonetheless. We're going to be changing up games here. So we're going to do our closing plugs and we'll sort of transition as this is perfect. So Chuck, what's going on with DOK and what are we doing here in 2 weeks?
Yeah. Well, DOK, every Wednesday, we've got our DCC campaign. Bert and Jeremy are in that. Every Friday, Joe's making a game called Anvia. So Joe's running that and we're poking holes in it. But yeah, I'm making a game. It's called Teenage Odyssey based on Into the Odd. And 2 weeks from tonight, I'm running this crew through a one shot. The Kickstarter goes live on the 14th. So, we'll be 4 days in. So Adam and I will either be very sad about how it's going or very happy about how it's going. But yeah, we're going to get to see what a group of teenagers gets up to when they're in all day detention on a Saturday.
Oh, wonderful. I like it. I already have my voice in mind.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Tiffany?
What? What's wrong?
Oh, I love it.
Oh my God.
The
Goodness.
return of Tiffany. So
I know.
amazing.
Okay, fan freaking tastic. If you're watching this later on VOD, check the notes and stuff. I'll have links to things. And Bert, what's going on with Steam, Steal, and Murder?
I will be faceless as I hold Buddy up so he can see his favorite person, Chuck.
Aw.
It's me.
This Tuesday, we're doing Werewolf's 20th anniversary. Friday, conclusion of almost a 5-year-long basic expert Dungeons and Dragons classic game. Probably will be the ending. Saturday is some Cyberpunk Red. Sunday, we're going to continue doing some play testing for a new Weird Frontiers module.
Phenomenal. Wonderful. Jeremy, what you got going on with this Patreon?
And raise some Patreon, comics, tokens, other fun stuff. Check it out. I won't bother trying to go too fast.
I had it ready. It's perfect
You
when like,
did.
I have like
Had it
Chuck
ready.
or Bert ahead of you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was so ready. I was so prepared.
Wow.
Like, oh my god,
So
look at me.
ready.
Oh my
I
god.
saw you ringing cowbell telling you
I'm
to
so
go.
glad you're using that voice. It's fantastic. For what
I don't know why I would. There's something on the horizon that makes me think about it.
Something. Adam, let's check in with you. Got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's already been talked about, but I would like to talk about it again. Teenage Odyssey. I am producing, not producing, publishing and dev editing the game, and so yeah, I'm excited about it as I'm reading through it. It's pretty awesome stuff. I like Into the Odd System, and if you want to know more, you can go there, or you can go to the link that was posted earlier.
Canonotter.com. Perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, as for us, next thing we got going is tomorrow night. We are, what used to be our Marvel night. We're actually going to be playing Heroic Deeds. One of our buddies over at Garblock Games also has a Kickstarter going on for Heroic Deeds, kind of an old school kind of module, kind of system using D12s. So we're going to give that a go. Aaron's going to run it for us for a couple weeks. And then Thursday, you can catch Jeremy, Melissa, myself playing Werewolf. We're very close to the end. I don't think it's the end. It might be the second to last, maybe third to last. We're getting pretty close. So come hang out with us. We're doing the newer version, the fifth version of Werewolf that just came out last year. And then Friday is a Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory night. Saturday, Call of Cthulhu Eternal Lies. And next Monday, we got Fragged Empire, as per usual. And in March, after Chuck runs his Teenage Odyssey, we have a new game. But it's an old game, as we're going to be switching over to Alien. We're going to be going back. A bunch of us here, we're in the old Cinders of Heaven group. Same crew you're seeing here. We're bringing on Bert, and we're going to do more Alien. I'm looking really forward to it. So that'll be in March.
Koenig's ex-wife is still out there, so the evil
She's
isn't
the big
defeated.
bad. She's the big bad. Yeah. You think the alien mother's big bad? Get that shit out of here. She couldn't hold a candle. Are you kidding? All right. Let's go ahead. We're going to pay a raid to Dork Tales, I guess. Let's do some Dork Tales. They're playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Never heard of it. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for watching Family Splatters. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.